Hi friends, welcome back to channel Sai Tech Guru. In this video, I will do the touch sampling rate comparison between the iQOO 7 versus Moto H20 device. Let's see which phone has got a default, what is the touch sampling rate, and how is the multi-gesture touch sampling rate in these both phones. I'll try to do this kind of in-depth kind of comparison between these devices. Let's see. And first is that, so few of the companies, they do claim they are having higher touch sampling rate, but by default, we don't get that kind of higher touch sampling rate. That's the reality, friends, which is happening with other smartphone UIs as well. But let's see in these phones which has got what is the company claiming and what we are getting. That is what I'm going to exactly explain in this video. So first thing is the iQOO 7 has got the 300 Hz touch sampling rate and the Moto H20 has got the 576 Hz touch sampling rate. So by default, we don't get that higher touch sampling rate in both phones. Yes, that's a fact. I'll explain you clearly what is happening as well in this video. So by default in the iQOO 7 we'll be getting the 120 Hz touch sampling rate by default. So right now we can see the value which is of close to 240 Hz. So 240 minus refresh rate, whatever you're getting in this iQOO 7 device we are trying to use, you need to do the minus thing every time when you're trying to do this kind of application. So you're getting only 120 Hz touch sampling rate in the iQOO 7 device by default. But if you want to increase the higher touch sampling rate, I mean 300 Hz, you need to add that application into the ultra game mode. Let me try to explain here, so which is present in this phone. So the main thing is that whenever you play these games, you will get the 300 Hz touch sampling rate perfectly alright in the iQOO 7 device without any kind of problem. Right now, as you can see, friends, the value increased to 420 just now in this iQOO 7 device. Because I did add this application into the ultra game mode, only then the value got increased. Clearly you can see 420. So 420 minus 120 refresh rate. So you're getting exactly 300 Hz, whatever the company iQOO is claiming we are getting as an output. But you only get while gaming. That's kind of understandable, no problem. So at least you're getting whatever the company is claiming without any issues in this iQOO 7 device. And let me try to do the multi-finger touch sampling rate test as well using the 5 fingers. I'm trying to do, still the value remains exactly higher. 390 and 400 around that, not an issue. Multi-finger touch sampling rate. Perfect. Now in the Moto H20, what is happening? Even in the Moto H20 as well, same thing we are trying to experience. So if you don't use any kind of game time or anything, you don't get higher touch sampling rate. So right now we are getting about 240, same 120 Hz touch sampling rate by default, it's enabled. If you want, you can enable that higher touch sampling rate only if you select this option which is called the touch sensitivity. As you can see, if you enable this option only, then you can actually increase the touch sampling rate instantly. As you can see, friends, how much it got increased the touch sampling rate. But actually we are getting the touch sampling rate kind of close to, I think, somewhere around 470 and 450, the highest value 470, somewhere around that. So overall I did find out the touch sampling rate, if you do the minus thing and everything, the refresh rate, so you get actual output is close to 400 and 420 Hz of touch sampling rate. That is what I'm getting in this Moto H20 device. Let's do the multi-finger. So if you use a multi-finger, look at the value, how much it got decreased. So not all the phones will be having this kind of multi-finger really good touch sampling rate. In the Moto H20, I'm trying to use a 1 finger, 2 finger and 3 fingers and 4 fingers. You can see the value how it got decreased. 5 finger gestures, the value got down to, I think, 200 and 150 as well. The value from 500 it came down to 200 and 150. As you can, single finger, 2 finger and 3 finger, how it's happening. So that's the thing about the multi-touch, and only few phones will be able to have the higher touch sampling rate even with the 5 fingers. So next is another application which we can actually use to detect the number of touch inputs what phone can actually detect. So let's see in this phone which has got 400 and 420 Hz. So if you cannot understand, let me try to explain clearly. I disable this touch sensitivity. Okay. Now let me try to draw the lines. Now look at the lines. We are getting gaps. The number of touch inputs are not detecting higher. Clearly, as you can see, now what I'll try to do, I'll try to clear up everything, all the menu. Let me try to clear. I did clear the screen, and now let me try to select the touch sensitivity. Okay. Now the touch sampling rate has been increased. So the number of touch inputs will be also increased. So we'll get the very straight lines, as you can see. Perfect, which looks really good. The moment you disable the touch sensitivity, you don't get that kind of lines. Clearly. So this is the usefulness of the touch sampling rate. So if you have higher touch sampling rate, the number of touch inputs will be more and your gaming experience will be slightly better. So same thing with the iQOO 7 as well. iQOO 7 has got really good touch sampling rate, not an issue. No problem, the touch inputs it's detecting properly. And let's check the multiple touch inputs. No problem, multiple touch inputs, 5 fingers, perfectly fine. That's good. And let's check in this phone what is happening. Touch sensitivity, let me turn on the touch sensitivity. Yes, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 fingers. So this is a quick comparison friends with both phones, and in case if you have any other queries, let me know in the comment section below. I hope you understand what is happening in the touch sampling rate, and see you in the next video friends. I'll illustrate for more updates. Meanwhile, signing off. Bye.